Let's go. All right, Shalom. We got the Hebrew Israelites come in week in and week out. Okay, to prophesy the up and coming downfall of this world to come, which will take place in this lifetime. First and foremost, got to give praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the Apostle Great Lone Stone, and also breaks to the Akim out there as well. That's pushing the truth on these streets. Okay, instant in season and out of season. So I have an article here. This is coming from the PBS News Hour. It says, microchipping humans hold great promise, but does it pose greater risk? Right? Hold on, let me see something. Right? Yeah, it says an intense debate is underway over the benefits and drawback of using microchips, typically relied upon to identify ranch animals and pets. On humans, advantages include fast communications, of critical patient data to medical team seamless payments, right? And automatically open doors, with skeptics warn of dire implications for privacy and ethics. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabant reports. So it reads, right? It says, this is what Judy Woodruff was saying. It says, an intense debate is underway over the benefits and drawback of human microchips. They're already used to identify ranch animals and pets, but the practice of implanting chips in people is also on the rise. So although you have these different debates about the chip, people are still getting chipped because they've already promoted it right before people already got the chip on the media, so that people can get the chip. Okay, and this is something that the elites have to push out there anyway, because again, it all goes back to prophecy. Because you have different levels of the elite. You have the bankers, which are on the ultimate level, and then you have certain people that are on certain levels, and that's where they take their orders from. So the government has to pretty much put this chip in full effect, because this is something that the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers mainly specifically want to do. All right, when you actually understand and check out this interview, which was done by Aaron Russo, he was interviewing Alex Jones. And what did Aaron Russo say that Rockefeller wanted? Is that they want the people to be chipped. Okay, so that's really the main goal of the elite power structure. They want it chipped. So although you have people debating about it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it's still going to come in effect. It's still going to happen, because they want to make sure that everybody has some kind of number to them. Because people are not, in the eyes of the powers that be, are not known by their name, they're known by their number. That's why you have your social security number. So once you get that chip, all you be is pretty much a stamp, okay, or a man or a woman with a stamp to then, what's the word I'm looking for? To indicate that you're their slaves, you're their servants.
Shalom.
You know, that's what they want. They want you, they want the people to be slaves. And that chip is going to be the displaying of that. So let's read this. It says, those who embrace the idea say they see it as a way to take back control of their personal data. But others are worried about how the data could be used. All right, and that's why they decided to go forward and implant an RFID chip under their subdermal, because they believe that it's a way of hoarding their information to themselves. But not understanding that information is pretty much guess what? Once you got that chip, that information about they're gonna know about what your issues are concerning your data. All right, and that's really the main goal. Like I said, the main goal is to chip people so they can fully control you. That's the main goal. So they put it out there like it's cool, and it's something that you have to get because you know it's more convenient, it's more conducive. You know, you can. I'm mean, if you have a car, you don't have to worry about no car keys. Or if you have some kind of internet, you don't gotta type in your password. All you gotta do is swipe that hand, and you open to the computer. You understand what I'm saying? So it's convenient in that level. But realistically speaking, they can control you with that information, and with that shit, they can ultimately control your every move. Okay, so give me the shit, brother.
Right, this is Ephesians 6:12. It says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of the darkness of this world,
right,
against spiritual wickedness in high places."
Right. So that's our power. That's our war. Our war is really against the elite, not really these everyday, Edomites that you see walking past us. They're not really the main enemy. The main enemy that we're fighting up against are the powers that be. Okay, because you have the elites on the right hand side, and you have the elites on the left hand side, and this is why they're propagating us on the computer, smear campaign against us. Because the elite, the powers that be, they know what we're saying is the truth, but in the back of their mind, they want to try to escape. They have this thought in their mind that they can then escape the judgment, but the judgment's already been written. So there's no escaping the judgment. Okay. Once the judgment is written, now it's just going to have to come to pass. Give me Isaiah 5 verse 11. Anything that's written in the book of the Lord is going to come to pass. So there's no kangaroo jumping over the judgment. So that's just what it is, man. That's just the ordeal.
Isaiah 55:11. "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void,
right,
but it shall accomplish that which I please."
Yeah, so the word of the Lord is going to go out, and it's not going to go without void. It's going to be performed. It's going to be done. Go on.
"And it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it."
Okay, and that's what I'm reading about right now. I'm reading something that was to come to pass, that John the Revelator brought into existence by pretty much writing these things down in the book of Revelation. Prophecy of the RFID chip, that is. So let me read this. It says, those who embrace the idea say they see it as a way to take back control of their personal data, while others are worried about how that data could be used. Special correspondent Malcolm Brabham reports from Southern England. It's a part of our breakthrough series on the leading edge of science, technology, and medicine. Alex Lewis, I don't want to lead a normal life. I want to lead an exceptional life. And I want to try things and do things that perhaps others in my situation have never done. So he wants to stick out. He says, Malcolm Brabham, matter of fact, let me get to the point. There's a certain point I want to make on this right here. Right, it's just people that are actually giving their thoughts on what they think of the chip. That's on his website here. So you got some people that accept the chip. They think it's cool. They think it's something that makes you stand out, and to also make others follow. With this technology. So, but you got some people that disagree with it. But regardless whether the people agree or disagree with it, it's going to happen anyway, because the elites want power, complete totality over the people. All right, and it's going to get to that point. And the reason why I say it's going to get to that point, because the only thing that they're going to do is fulfill prophecy. That's as far as they're going to go. And I always talk about how they're all doing things to fulfill just that prophecy. Go on, brother. Yeah, Isaiah 55 and 11 again.
Doing that again.
Yeah, verse 12. Because I didn't think you finished it.
Isaiah 55:12. "For ye shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace."
Right, and that's going to happen. We're going to be led forth in joy. So when it's all said and done, yeah, things look shabby. Things look shitty right now. But eventually the nation, starting with the elect, they're going to be led to be saved, and they're going to we're gonna revert back to what we used to be in totality. And what I mean by that is we're gonna be able to have our own land like we used to. So if we have our own land, we'll be able to set up our own structure. And our own structure is gonna be based on the laws, statutes, commandments that's written in this book. You know, we no longer have to stay upon those that smote us, but stay upon the law. Okay, go on, brother.
It says, and be led forth with peace.
Right.
The mountains and the hills shall break forth before you into singing.
Right.
And all the trees of the field shall clap their hands.
Right, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands, meaning that's talking about the other nations. They're gonna see our glory. And they're gonna be, you know, they're gonna acknowledge the beauty. And that's why it says they're gonna clap their hands. Although we're gonna be whipping upside the head, but they're gonna respect that we're in authority. Because if we're in authority, that means that there's gonna be peace on the planet. Like it tells you in the book of Proverbs, it says, when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. But when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. So when we're in authority, that's going to be the beginning of the joy of the planet. But see, when Esau comes into power, especially right now in this day and age, what does Esau do? Esau's done what he's done to this present moment. He's cut trees down. You know, he's genetically modifying the food that you eat. He's polluting the same air that he has to breathe. But yet the so-called white man, he's declared to have the best IQ of all nations. But yet, due to his wisdom, he's destroyed the planet, brought the planet to almost to a state of no return. But he's got the highest IQ out of everybody else.
And I just say that, you're saying he's declared that himself.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He's declared that himself. Anytime you see Jake trying to talk about Jake's done in history where it's been invented.
Yeah, they shun it.
They shun it and they say, well, no, we did this. You know, basically everything that's good is they put it down to themselves. But on the flip side, everything that's wicked is actually down to them. You know, they're nothing. They bring is wickedness, man.
Yeah.
And destruction and death.
And it's true what the brother is saying, because that's all these so-called white people doing. I'm talking about the powers that be of them. They like to pat themselves on the back. They like to flatter themselves. So if they can say that they're the smartest people, which would make sense because they're in rulership. So if you're in rulership, you're gonna want to have the people see that there's nothing but positivity around about you. But really, in fact, you're the devil. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how the so-called white man is. He likes to flatter himself and expose that flattery to other people, so that other people can get into that sort of flattery and flatter them again. When in reality, they're nothing but dumb idiots. When it comes to doing the things that are right, or doing the things that are supposed to be, they're dumb idiots. But when it comes to doing the right thing, or they're very intelligent on that mark, on that regard, excuse me. So read what you got, brother.
Psalms 94. Do you want me to finish with Isaiah?
Yeah.
Isaiah 55 and 13, it says, instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree, and there shall be to the Lord for a name, for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off. Right,
so that means that we're not going to be cut off no more. The Lord is going to make another sign, because he's made signs before, like when when the flood came, there was a rainbow that came after that, and the rainbow was a sign of how he wouldn't flood the earth anymore. You understand? So read that part of the scripture again, brother.
Isaiah 55 and 13. Instead of the thorn shall come up the fir tree, and instead of the briar shall come up the myrtle tree, and it shall be to the Lord for a name and for an everlasting sign that shall not be cut off.
Right. So when we get those trees, that's going to be a sign of how the Lord won't cut us off. That's why the covenant, when you read in the book of Hebrews, the 8th chapter, it talks about how within that covenant you're going to have the Israelites. They're going to have the statutes and commandments within their hearts and their minds, so that they can do only but just that. Okay? You don't know that yet? Yeah, we got it. Okay. Well, what you could get, brother, get me, let me see what else you could get. I'll tell you what, get Ezekiel the 12th chapter.
already.
Oh, you got it already?
Oh, remember, that's the first one.
Okay, yeah, read what you got.
Psalms 94 and 3, it says, Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph?
That's that Psalm speaking, right? I
Yeah.
mean, David. Yeah, so David was saying, how long shall the wicked triumph? Because David foresaw that who was going to be in power, who was going to triumph at the last day. So David is inquiring or questioning the Lord, how long is this white man going to rule the earth? Or should I say Esau? How long is he going to triumph on the earth? And when you read about Esau, you find out that they're the wicked that the Bible speaks about. That's what you find out. Because if they triumph on the earth, what kind of state the earth is going to be in? It's going to be more in a more degradable state that it is already in. It's just going to get worse. Okay, so how long should he triumph? What kind of time does he have left? When is it going to be the end of his imperialism? When is it going to be the beginning of our rule? Go on, brother.
Verse 4. How long shall they utter and speak hard things, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves?
Right, and all the workers of iniquity boast themselves. Like I was saying earlier before, that's all they do is boast themselves, man. Pat themselves on the back. That's what these crackers do. And they can't help themselves. Because they know deep down that they're hollow inside. They have nothing to really provide for the earth for the better. Okay, all they can talk about is how many buildings they done set up, and all of this other nonsense that they claim to invent, when really most of the inventions came from our people. You understand what I'm saying? So what Esau does, he'll take somebody else's invention and claim it for himself. That's what he did to us. And then say, well, Jake couldn't have came up with anything. So-called Negroes couldn't really have invented anything because they're just that damn stupid. But they're really they're the stupid ones. Because if they were that goddamn smart, like I said, why have they destroyed the earth to the way that they've done it? Why is this fucking chemtrails in the thing? Why is it when I look around on the news, there's birds dropping dead? All right, there's wells, even the sea life is dying out there. But yet this man, he's supposed to be smart. He's supposed to be high intelligent, and everybody's supposed to obey what he says. Like he's got the word. When he ain't got shit going, brother.
So what do you say? Verse 5, it says, they break in pieces thy people, O Lord, and afflict thine heritage. Right, they break in pieces his people and they afflict the heritage. Meaning they beat the heritage out of us. That's what the whole Roots was all about. When you watch the film Roots, they beat him to a different identity. And not only have they done it to the Israelites, but they've done it worldwide. They've named the people rather than naming the people out of what the Bible says, or their original names. Now, when you go back in the ancient world, those Indians down there in the east, they were calling themselves Elam. Now Esau put another name to them, Indians. And the word Indian means savage. That's what it means. And you got our people that's calling themselves West Indians, naming themselves after a direction and naming themselves savage again. So the point of the matter is Esau, he pretty much renamed everybody on the planet so that he can pretty much put his stamp, put his writing on the earth. But his writing and his knowledge and understanding is going to be without. Everything's going to revert back to the truth. Because see, Esau, they don't understand that this truth right here that we're bringing to you, this can't be destroyed, man. This is coming out of the Bible. The Bible is the book of the planet. So how can you destroy the wisdom and understanding of the Heavenly Father and in his wisdom and understanding created the earth? It doesn't make no sense. Go on, brother, let's read that. It says they slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless.
Right.
Yet they say, the Lord shall not see, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it.
Right, neither shall the God of Jacob regard it. So the Lord ain't going to regard all of the wickedness that's been done on this planet. That's why in this society it's going to be complete death. It's going to be complete death. That's why you have a war broom. You have a nuclear war broom. like they put us on the internet, try to give us a bad name about, oh yeah, you got these black Hebrew Israelites, and we're not no black Hebrew Israelites. We're just the Hebrew Israelites. We're just the real Jews, and that's what we're declaring. And this is something that the powers that be, they already know this already. They already know that the so-called Negro walking up and down the street is the real Jew. They know this already, but they don't want us to bring it out. But that's just too bad, because we done brought it out for years. How about them apples? Go on, brother.
Right, verse 8, it says, understand, ye brutish among the people, and ye fools, when will ye be wise? He that planted the ear,
Right.
shall he not hear?
Right, he that planted the ear, shall he not hear? Of course he's gonna hear. Like, what the hell? Go on, brother.
He that formed the eye, shall he not see?
Right. So there's an origin to everything that has been created. There's an origin, and the origin is the supreme power. But see, what the world is going to realize, what we've been saying is true. That's just the beautiful thing about it. See, right now in the eyes of people, we're like a bunch of clowns. And they think this is a joke, but guess what? At the last end, when it's all said and done, the joke is going to be on them. You see, and they're going to realize that the same power that gave them ears to hear, gave them eyes to see, gave them a mouth to speak, and a voice to speak for as well. They're going to find that same power, he's the one that's been controlling everything all along. And he's going to get all the glory. Go on.
It says, verse 10, it says, he that chastiseth the heathen, shall not he correct?
Right.
He that teacheth man knowledge, shall he not know?
Right, shall he not
Shall
know?
not he know, so that.
Right. Because all manner of knowledge and wisdom and understanding comes from the Lord, whether it be good or bad. So, like I said a couple of weeks back, if you want to be a Satanist, what do? You got to read the scriptures so you can find out what you can do contrary. That's what you do. And that's why the elites, they know about this Bible, man. They know about this Bible because, like I said, in order for you to be a Satanist, what do you have to also know? That there is a higher power. You know, you can't believe in the devil, but then don't believe in the Most High. You got something, right? Okay. You know what I mean? So that's how that goes. So all wisdom, whether it be good or bad, comes from the Lord. Left or right hand. Go on,
Read this one.
Yeah.
So verse 11 says, the Lord knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity.
Right. Go on.
Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law.
Go on.
That thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity.
Yeah, so the Lord is going to give us rest, man. It's right now we're in captivity. Whether you want to realize that or not, it doesn't matter. We're the Israelites and we're in captivity right now. That's why you have to work, paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
That's why you have to work just to pay your fucking bills. Okay, the reason why you working just to survive because you're enslaved. You understand? I don't care what nobody gotta say out here. Because what they gotta say holds no weight. They don't know a damn thing. That's why it says the thoughts of the people are vain. And that's why the scriptures commands us not to lean onto our own understanding, because what we got to say or what we got to feel holds really no weight. What goes around is what the Lord said. Okay, and it takes the right men to break the scriptures down the right way. Because them pastors and them child molesting Roman Catholics don't have a clue about this word. They don't know. They just portray themselves like they know, but they don't know a damn thing. All they know how to do is to be a bunch of goddamn devils. That's all they know how to do. Okay, you bring a Roman Catholic out here and you have him try to debate us. He's going to lose the debate miserably because he don't know the scriptures. And the people that are Roman Catholics don't know what's going on either. Because if they were so deep, they wouldn't be no Roman Catholics to begin with. Due to the child molestation going on. Go on, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to read that again. Verse 13 it says, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity.
Right, from the days of adversity. Because we're in an adverse state right now. If we're the children of Israel, and we're living in this world, we're supposed to feel uncomfortable. Because our world is set up to be the righteous men. And we're supposed to be under a righteous kind of rulership. So when you're an Israelite, being governed by a wicked, evil, sadistic nation of people, you will face adversity, as you're supposed to, on all levels, because these levels ain't got nothing to really offer the planet in terms of benefiting the planet. Let me say that. No pictures.
No pictures?
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can take a picture on the sign.
Oh, okay. No pictures of you. Okay.
Yeah, we don't.
So it says, until the pit be digged for the wicked.
Right, until the pit be digged for the wicked. Because Esau, at the end of the day, he's digging his own pit. All of this nuclear buildup that's going on, that's for their demise, for their destruction. That's all it is. All of this nuclear proliferation going on, and multiplying missiles and all of that. That's for the downfall of America and Great Britain. Give me that in the book of Job 18. I take care. Where it speaks about how the wicked to dig the pit for himself. Yeah, continue.
I've got something else.
Yeah, go on.
This is Habakkuk, starting at 1 and 1. The burden which Habakkuk the prophet did see. O Lord, how long shall I cry, and thou wilt not hear? Even cry out unto thee of violence, and thou wilt not save. Why dost thou show me iniquity, and cause me to behold grievance? For spoiling and violence are before me, and there are that raise up strife and contention.
Right, and they that raise up strife and contention, because that's all the so-called white man has ever been doing ever since he's gotten to power. He's been causing strife and mischief on the earth. But yet they want to put us on the media like we're the worst things since hell. But Esau has been causing all of the hell on the planet on an astronomical scale. You talk about the conquering of those people in South Africa, how they did them people. You talk about, we can even take it back to the 1600s, how they conquered the native Indians, took their land. We can talk about the Opium Wars, which the British was involved in pretty much bringing forth opium to get those people high in China. And then you had Nagasaki, Japan. You had the atomic bomb that dropped down there and massacred loads of people. But yet they want to put us on the media and have the people think that we're the worst things since hell, when they're the ones that's been bringing this fucking hell to the planet. Go on, brother.
Right, verse 4 says, Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth.
Right, judgment doth never go forth. Go on. That's what they say, but that's not the case. Go on.
For the wicked doth come past about the righteous.
Right.
Therefore wrong judgment proceedeth.
That's it, and that's all that's been going on in this earth. It's wrong judgment. Because see what Esau does, due to his makeup and the way that he's created to go contrary to what the Lord said. And this is why the Bible is highly disregarded. I'm gonna put my gloves on too.
Hold on. Quick.
Yeah, speak on something, brother.
Yeah, so like it says, man, the law is slacked and judgment doth never go forth, because everything Esau does out here is contrary to the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So, he doesn't know how to culture the land. He's putting poison in the water. He's messing with the genetics of human beings. He's spraying the genes too. He's splicing the genes. He's spraying the atmosphere with chemicals, turning men effeminate. The chemicals in the food and the water. Because he does, man. It's contrary to the scriptures, man.
Yeah, because see, someone has to get the blame for why the earth is so jacked up. A Negro that's smoking a blunt on the street corner, talking shit all day, he's not responsible for the destruction of the planet. All right, they're nowhere near responsible for what's been going on this planet throughout the years. They're not responsible for birds dropping dead by the moon. They're not responsible for the air pollution, splicing genes. Who's to blame for all of this? So-called white man. His face is on that, on the destruction of the earth. That's why I told you in the book.